Mike and Bill are two mentally insane shitheads who just so happen to love Star Wars. You are now being sworn in as their therapists, so anything they say or do... You are now being sworn in as their therapists, so anything they say during the show... You are now being sworn in as their therapist, so anything that is said on the show is held under attorney-client privilege, and blah, blah, blah. Fuck you.
Guys, I'm gonna need you guys to quiet down. Did you hear me? I'm recording. Here's your cereal.
How's my audio?
Here he is trying to look. Oh my God, your background's amazing. I'm gonna have to change my background. That's just how it is.
What's up, Josh?
I'm not used to waking up.
How's it going, Mikey?
Hanging in there, man. Good though. I'm alive today.
God, you look like you just woke up at 7:30, Mike.
I know. I gotta drink this fucking thing. Then I'll be normal.
You love your Dunkin' Donuts.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
What do you
Mountain
drink?
Dew, man. That's the way to go.
Where's that Mountain Dew? You drinking some Mountain Dew?
Who, me?
Mountain Dew.
Oh my God, look at your great Christmas sweater too.
Except for the tree.
I'm not. The only thing I'm wearing Star Wars is my Star Wars Disney hat.
No, I've got Baby Yoda in a stocking.
Oh, there you go.
Dude,
Look at that.
I needed that shirt.
That's awesome.
I think you did make this shirt before you got kicked off T-Public.
Yeah. I made that shirt. I designed that shirt. That's me. That's my Christmas shirt from last year that I was supposed to make a whole bunch of money for.
I know,
never
but
did.
Dude, I was going to say my daughter would love that shirt.
Okay. Go to background and filters. All right, since he's in space, I'm going to be in space.
Sorry, Josh. We're new with this. Yeah.
All right. Ooh,
Oh my
there you
God,
go.
your background's better than all of ours.
All right. There we go.
God, now I have the scrub background.
I think my lighting is better now, Bill, with this laptop. I think the camera's better.
Or you just have better lighting in your room, maybe. Okay. Sorry, we're very ADD.
I know. All right,
No
go.
problem. At some point, Grace will probably try to burst in here.
I figured.
I'm back.
Listen, they're asleep right now, so
Who's
Okay.
asleep? You got kids that are asleep?
yeah.
Where do you live?
Michigan.
Michigan, and they're still sleeping? What, do you got the best kids in the whole world?
Well, the kids and the wife are still sleeping because we were at a friend of ours' house last.
Okay. So you're up late. Okay.
bubble.
See,
Yeah.
we're in bed by, I don't know, 10ish or so, but I mean, I got woken up late today at 7:30.
Right.
I expected to be up at 6:30.
Well, there you go. I'm a night owl anyway, so.
But hey, nice to meet you, Josh.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, Bill.
About time,
big fan
right?
of yours,
You
right?
guys know each other, though, right?
Yeah, we know each other
from-
over the internets.
Yep.
Cool.
We've communicated quite a bit over, on Facebook and stuff.
Awesome.
Oh, you don't need
I
to
figured.
sneak. Just be quiet.
So Josh, thanks for hanging out with us, man. As you and I always text back and forth whenever news comes out, like you're always pretty much on the money with stuff, and I'm always in agreement with a lot of what you come up with, whether it comes true or not. Like it's probably better than some of the writing that comes out.
I appreciate that.
So we got all this news. I don't know, Bill, you wanna kind of lead this or not? But there's all this slate, all these shows that Kathleen Kennedy said on the investment call, and I'd love to kind of just for both of you figure out like what you guys are excited for, what you think, what you're not excited for, and just like there's just so much to talk about with 10 new Star Wars shows. It's insane. I can't believe we're getting 10.
I have them pulled up right now. If you want me to start listing them off in this order that's on my phone, it's basically their what they released.
I mean, we could do whatever. We could just ask Josh like what he's excited about, I guess, and then go from there because there's so much. I mean, I don't
Excited
even know
about
where to
basically
start.
everything.
I'm going to list them. Okay.
Yeah, go
This will
for
be
it. All right.
nice and easy and quick.
All right.
Rangers of the New Republic. I know that's actually set during Mando time right now. What do we know about this show?
Not much. I mean,
I have no idea.
I mean, what do they mean by Rangers? The only thing that pops in my head is is a team of Mandos, but I'm just stuck in Mando time right now. So
I'm thinking like Carson Teva and Trapper Wolf, the X-Wing pilots. Are they the Rangers? of the New Republic.
Oh,
possibly?
this is going to be an X-Wing show. That's right. I think I read that. Or is
Is
that
it?
Rogue Squadron?
Rogue
No, that's-
Squadron's going to be X-Wing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's X-Wings.
Right.
Okay. So, but Rangers of the New Republic. What do you guys think about all these 10 new shows coming out? Is that too much? Is that enough? Or is that good?
I don't think it's too much because it's over the course of a decade. Like,
Oh, it's over the course of a decade. Okay, that feels a little bit better.
Well,
I mean, I think
it's
I
over the
think
course of a few years at least.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
that's a lot of shows. My God, I almost felt like I was getting waterboarded when they were giving me all this stuff, like waterboarded by Star Wars. It's
Yeah.
so crazy. It's tons. It's like if they would have given us 2, I think I would have been able to process it a little bit easier. Here I am complaining about too much Star Wars. I didn't think I'd ever be doing that.
Yeah, right.
But
Well, I
Rangers
mean,
of the New Republic, I know it's set around now, but I don't know anything about it. I mean, Rangers, that I would assume that means that they're soldiers of some sort. That's all I know. Or maybe they're forest rangers on Endor or something.
yeah, only you can prevent Ewok forest fires.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Go ahead, Josh.
Oh, sorry, Mikey.
No, go ahead.
No, that's the only thing that popped into my mind. Like, we don't know what the Rangers are, but it kind of looks like, Trapper Wolf and Teva are kind of like fulfilling that kind of a Walker Texas Ranger, or like out in the Outer Rim, they're patrolling and they're kind of they're deputizing people like Cara Dune and such.
Okay, so they're like cops, basically. Okay,
Right, yeah.
that makes more sense. Maybe it's a reality show set in the Outer Rim or something.
Yeah, troopers or whatever, right?
They should have me produce it. I can do this stuff.
I mean, let's look at the definition of the word ranger, right? A ranger is someone who's in a wild area that needs to kind of wrangle stuff in, is the way I look at it. Like,
It's someone on the range.
they're on the range and it's somewhat exploratory of a terminology, I guess. So like Outer Rim / unknown territory kind of hits my head. Where like you don't need rangers in the mid rim or in the core, right? You need rangers on the outskirts, and you need rangers like in areas that are of the unknown or the unexplored, which would be like, I guess, the Outer Rim and the unknown regions. So, I think Josh is on to something there. But isn't Gina Carano's character going to be starring in this as well?
Is that confirmed?
Probably not. I guess people are speculating, and then there's so much speculation going on right now that I don't know what's fact and what's not. The ways people are writing things, even in editorials. So
She's gonna be like the what's her face from Carmen Sandiego. She's gonna be like the person who sends people out. She's gonna be the marshal. That makes sense.
yeah.
I think that a lot of the stuff from like it being Cara Dune centric is spurring from Bob Iger's comments like last February when he talked about some of these new characters in Mando they might get their own spin-offs. So
That was
since
before
then,
people were so pissed off at her.
yeah. So people were already looking for a Cara Dune spin-off, and now people are looking to be, looking to be upset at Cara Dune because of everything she said and Disney not pulling back on her at all.
Yep.
Yeah.
That stuff aside, the politics of whatever the Twitter war aside, like, I don't think Gina Carano is talented enough to hold her own show.
No, she
She's
seemed like
just
she was
not.
good enough in the first season. I thought, like I said in yesterday's episode, I think that she got a little too full of herself the first season. She's not that good this season. She was all right in the last episode, but I don't think she could hold her own series. She's great as an offshoot character.
She's almost too comic in her I don't know, even like her action and her delivery, like
She's
blowing
having
the
way
hair
too
out
much
of her
fun with
face.
it this season. Not saying that she shouldn't have fun with it, but it's like now she's like she can tell she loves herself, which is
Right.
it's good, but it doesn't bode well for the character.
Yeah.
She's overconfident, maybe overconfident with the acting.
Yeah, she takes me out of it. She takes me out of it. She just doesn't. She seems like Gina Carano playing Cara Dune this season instead of being Cara Dune.
Yeah. Her
Which is-
overconfidence and her
yeah.
faith in her friends will be her downfall.
Your overconfidence is your weakness.
Your faith in your friends is yours.
She's riding high on how well received she was last season, which I understand. She's a brand new actor, for Christ's sake. It's like her first acting role.
Well, and you got to figure they were shooting all of this while the first season was coming out, and they were riding that hype train.
Yeah. Speaking of trains, yesterday's episode, that was a nice tank train.
Woo, man, very Indiana Jones.
Very Hans, very Solo a Star Wars story too.
Yep.
Very cool. But all right, you want to move on to the next show?
Let's do it.
The Bad Batch, which I think everybody's excited about. Does this look like the animation's going to be on par with Clone Wars? Or do you think it's going to be more Rebels? It looks like Clone Wars, which surprises me because I thought they're trying to get away from that because they're so expensive.
I think that after, the success of season 7 of Clone Wars and the demand to get it back, like they're going all out and just basically continuing. My theory is I think they're going to continue a lot of the story arcs that they already had planned. We already know they had some pre-production done and some storyboards and such done for a lot of other things. So probably just utilizing all that.
I hope this show's as good as I expect it to be. I love the Bad Batch arc episodes, but I'm wondering if these guys are enough to hold a series.
I don't remember the episode that well. So I'm gonna rewatch it, but they were like Clone Force 99 and they came in and like just wreck shit. Are they basically like Republic Commandos? Is that
They're
it?
super cool, and I really like Echo's character, especially now. But I just hope that they're able to hold a series and hold my interest, just with them being as much of a focused thing as they are. You know, they're all the same thing basically, instead of being a band of different people.
Right.
I mean, they're different, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. But is this going to take place the same time as season 7? Because we do in the trailer, we see Palpatine's speech in the Senate.
The Republic will be reorganized into the First Galactic Empire!
So I don't know if the whole season is going to take place the same time as season 7, or is it going to be like out of chronological order? You know what I mean? Like,
did they use Palpatine's actual voice for that? I think they did, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if they didn't, then like Sam Witwer's voiceover is like amazing.
He's good.
Right?
He's good, but yeah, I mean, Ian McDiarmid has come back to do a lot of stuff lately. He even redubbed some of Sam's stuff for Rebels.
It's amazing how long he's been able to play the Emperor. I mean, he played him since, 1983?
Yeah.
Well, before that, obviously, but it came out in 1983. I'm back.
The Republic will be reorganized into the First Galactic Empire. The Republic will be reorganized into the First Galactic Empire.
I'm back.
The Republic will be reorganized into the First Galactic Empire. The Republic will be reorganized into the First Galactic Empire.
You need to get
It's
back
not
in
that-
and out and get yourself another Order 66 burger, brother.
Strike down the Jedi. Do it. Do it. Order 66.
It's not that easy though.
And secure society.
This is how Liberty dies, with thunderous applause.
Now
man.
you will die.
I mean, it's gotta
Die.
at least some of it has to be during season 7, right? Because like season 7 kind of overlaps with Revenge of the Sith, kind of.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of rich storytelling to do right around the entire galaxy, you know. The Republic being instantaneously overnight transformed into a empire, and you get these guys who are going to be forced to enforce that. Literally, the clones are being forced to enforce that against their will. Who knows if these guys' chips aren't messed up because they're the Bad Batch.
That's what I was going to ask. I was
They
going
could
to
have
ask if they
bad,
take
could
their
have
chips out.
bad biological chips.
Yeah, they might just not be active. So there could be that. And I think and Bill, to what you were saying,
Yeah.
do you guys think that it's going to center just on the Bad Batch, or will it be more kind of like Clone Wars, where it's going to, I mean, it was Clone Wars, but we also got, stories that weren't necessarily just about the Clone Wars. We had spin-offs, like Mortis had really nothing to do with the Clone Wars. It was just in that period. And we see what looks like Fennec Shan in the
That's what Bill
trailer.
said.
I thought so
That's
too.
what Bill said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So,
very interesting.
and like I was saying, they had all this unused stuff. Specifically, I don't know if you guys have seen like the animatics they released for the Boba Fett arc that they had planned.
Was that with
Wow.
Cad Bane when they have the
Yep.
duel?
They had the duel and explains where Boba Fett gets the dent in his helmet. So,
That's important.
we got Fennec Shan and Boba Fett working together now. We have all this unused stuff from the Clone Wars with Boba Fett. Could we see like some Fennec Shan Boba Fett connection in the Bad Batch?
Is Cad Bane still alive in canon? Right, as of right now, like we don't know how he
I don't think
died.
he's been killed, has he?
As of right, so that's gray, right? Because most of the animatics and stuff are considered canon, and I'm pretty sure Boba Fett was supposed to have killed him, or it was kind of ambiguous. Like he bested him for sure.
Right. Well, maybe, yeah. So to Josh's point, maybe we'll get that kind of stuff in Bad Batch. I would love that. I mean, I'm not saying I would hate, 10 or 15 episodes of just the Clone Force 99 or whatever, but like
Right.
if they mix it back into the bounty hunting stuff and then mix it over to the Jedi stuff a little bit, I think that'd be really cool. Because then
Plus,
it's like
we
getting
could see-
season 8.
We could see individual episodes about each person too. I mean, they got a big crew there. We could see them doing their own little offshoot missions too, and their own little
Yeah, and
storylines.
I had for Bad Batch, I'd written down, like I said, Fennec Shan, Boba. Could they be hunting down other Jedi? Or like we know Rex went back into the service of the Republic
Right.
after he left, but he's already been out of it. So could we see him? Who are the other clones he was with in Rebels, like recruiting and helping them snap out of it? Wolf and Gregor, right? So
Yeah.
Are those the 3 clones that are in Rebels? Wolf
and Gregor and Rex.
and the Rex. Okay. Yeah, I'd love to see how the 3 of them break away. And then I'd love to see, I read Dark Disciple. I kind of know what happens to Asajj Ventress, but I think there's some unwritten animated stuff that was kind of in pre-production that didn't get released. I'd love to see that stuff. You know what I'm talking about, Josh?
Yeah, according to I've heard a lot of interviews with James Arnold Taylor and Matt Lanner and stuff, and they were working, and I'm sure Bill knows. Bill knows well that especially in animation, they work seasons, a few seasons ahead with all
Yes,
this
they
stuff.
do. They have to. Yeah.
So they have a few more seasons of story arcs, and our main story arc with Ahsoka and stuff, that's been wrapped up for the most part, but they have all this other ancillary stuff with characters like the Bad Batch. I think they were going to be a bigger part. They were going to replace Domino Squadron or whatever. So there's probably a lot of storytelling left with them.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Especially, I want to see Echo's storyline evolve more because he is the most interesting member of the team, I think.
When are we
Yeah.
getting this show?
Should be soonish, right? I mean, they've been talking about this show for a while.
I'm hoping it's this year, man, because I don't think or 2021, because I don't think anything's really been actually announced for 2021.
So, man, they're announcing all this stuff way ahead of time. I'm wondering if this is a mistake. They should have given it to us in drips and drabs, man. Give us 3 new shows that they're going to develop in the next 2 years. Then give us the next 3 next year,
Dude, it's so funny. Like Star Wars fans are never happy. Like if it's not one person I
You're
hear,
right.
one person's like, "Oh yeah, great, 2027, real
Yeah.
good job, Disney Lucas," and the other person's like, "Oh great, milk it up, make more
Bill
shit
Beck's
content."
like
like
this
Marvel,
is too
like-
many Star Wars shows.
It's either too many or too little in not a short enough time.
It's hard to
Or
process.
it's like it doesn't matter. It all sucks anyway. No one's happy. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm sure you two are happy.
I am happy. I'm
Love
just
it.
worried that
happy.
it's gonna be too much too quick. But I am happy. I'm very happy I'm getting all these shows. That's for sure.
Yeah, I feel like Star Wars for the past couple of years has been like either a waterfall or just like a drizzle.
This is like a t-shirt cannon right in the face.
Well, they didn't know what to do when they saw our reaction after the Last Jedi and everything, and then Rise of Skywalker controversy. Like they didn't know. Like Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy were sitting there with their arms up in the air. Like, what the fuck? How do we please these people?
People need to start liking Star Wars like I do. I just like everything. I don't complain. I don't.
That's how I
maybe
am.
that makes me an awful critic, but it makes me a very happy fan.
I've been accused of being a Star Wars apologist, so
Oh, me too.
I will, hey, I'll own it.
Well,
Here's my
that's
thing
what
though. Like,
take you on.
I'll be quick. I'm just saying, like, if I watch it and I'm smiling and I'm like, and I become a 5-year-old again or a 10-year-old again, like, it worked for me. I'm good.
Yes, that's
Like,
its purpose.
It's not The Godfather. It's not.
Yeah.
We're not redoing The Godfather 3 like Francis Ford Coppola's daughter right now. It's fine.
It transports me back to this wonderful place of escapism that I met when I was 3 years old.
Yeah, hey, but aren't they doing The Godfather in chronological order or something weird like that? Isn't there like a chronological order cut?
Yeah. So, The Godfather 3 got recut by Francis's daughter, Sofia Coppola, who's actually in the movie. It just came out. It's called The Godfather Coppola: The Death of Michael Corleone. And they fixed apparently, quote unquote, fixed The Godfather 3, where they redo it in chronological order and they changed some things. And she removed a few scenes that made things confusing. But it's the same. Other than that, it's the same exact movie. Apparently, my
I
buddy
need to
spent
watch
like
those
$40.
movies. I've seen The
haven't watched them.
Godfather. I think I saw The Godfather 2. I can't tell you much about them, which I know that they're like the favorite movie of many people.
I mean, I appreciate them, and then mainly it always goes back to like Lucas, like George and Steven Spielberg and Coppola like grew up together, like they hung out in the same circles. They took
that's
ideas
right.
from one another, like. So I mean, it's just kind of cool to follow that stuff. I mean, I'm not.
They're all
huge
movie
into
nerds
the-
together.
Well, they
Yeah.
had like that almost like commune of like almost hippie commune of filmmakers, and that's where we got basically everything great out of the couple decades.
We're a hippie commune of podcasting type people.
There you go.
So that's what we're going to come out great from. Give me 1 second, guys. I need to hit the coffee grinder. I'll be
That's fine.
really, really fast.
I'm gonna just introduce the next show, and then we'll hop you in because I don't want to take too much of Josh's weekend from him. So, I've got on the list. I got Ahsoka next. So we've got a spinoff based on Ahsoka's character, starring Rosario Dawson, that takes place the same time as Mandalorian, and apparently the same time as this Rangers of the New Republic show. We could probably talk about this one in a whole episode. Are you excited for this? Is this where we're going to see Thrawn and Ezra and everybody, or is this going to be like something that we don't even expect, you think?
I think it's going to be what we expect from it, because I don't think they want to divert too much from that. I think Dave's had an idea of Ahsoka's endgame and where Thrawn went, where Ezra went, and how he plays into it since the beginning. So I wrote down Rex, Ezra, Sabine, Thrawn, World Between Worlds, and we see that right in the logo. The World Between Worlds.
We're seeing basically what happened in the Ahsoka's episode this season. We're just setting up for this series.
Well, it's also around Baby Yoda around Grogu on the Seeing Stone, right? That circle.
Yes.
Like the hieroglyphs of like all the walls that Ezra opens in all these like Force sensitive areas that let him go through the World Between Worlds. Like I feel like it's attached to Baby Yoda, and I don't know if I think you're savvy to this. I mean, I would imagine you would be, Josh. But in Rebels, behind Sabine in the hieroglyphs, you see a little Baby Yoda, or you see like a little Yoda dude like putting his hands up in the air,
that is so
meditating
Baby
or
Yoda.
some
It's
shit.
ridiculous. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, Josh?
behind Sabine in the
All right, so
when she's talking to the the old dude there when Ezra's going into World Between Worlds.
yes, there's a little Yoda dude, and he's like doing some magic trick or meditating or something, and then you see like the rest of like these looks like, I don't know, like other acolytes or other like Jedi temple guards or something, like on the left and the right, and like the little Yoda dude has his hands up in the air and like something's happening. Bill, can you put that up?
Boop.
All right. Well, not right. I guess
I can't really put it
now.
up here. I'm not sure how to do that with three of us right now.
Okay.
We'll play with that a little bit more later.
It doesn't matter. My point is that Josh is saying they had this plan from the beginning. That means I would think that Baby Yoda's been planned then from that long ago, from back from Rebels.
Oh, I would think
say
so.
that at least a Yoda has, and maybe they're like, hey, let's bring in a Yoda character at some point, and that's pretty ambiguous. They could easily use that.
I mean, it depends on, because if you track everything that's been said, Favreau said he was basically writing some of this series like when he was in college, that he's been like doodling with this and has aspired to do something Star Wars, has had ideas for this since then. We also know that him and Filoni showed each other stuff, like when he was working on Iron Man, him and Filoni started talking. So Filoni was working on Clone Wars, he was working on Iron Man, and that's when their relationship started, and that's how Favreau got to be Vizsla on Clone Wars. So,
I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, so that's all. Like if you watch Favreau's Chef show on Netflix, Filoni's on an episode, they cook together, and they're just like they're just talking back and forth kind of about their relationship. So that's all.
Filoni
That's
went to my college.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Seriously?
I didn't know him though. Yeah.
That's all pre, like at the beginning of Clone Wars. There you go, Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
So I think that it's very possible that it could all be interconnected like this. And I've been saying this for a while. And Kathleen Kennedy on with my buddies and stuff on our podcast, she confirmed it. She said, I wrote down the exact thing she said concerning the Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and the Rangers, Rangers of the New Republic. She said they are all happening concurrently. They're all interconnected, and they will all culminate in a climactic story event.
Oh, it's going to be like the DC world on the WB.
Yep.
So, like, we could get the finale for Mando, Ahsoka, and Rangers in a movie, basically.
Yeah.
Something
or
like
like
that.
a special
Something
event.
like that.
Yeah.
They'll have like episodes where every show it's like crossover episodes, I bet.
Yeah, like I used to have to buy Justice League comic to get like what happened with Superman and Doomsday, and then I'd have to buy Wonder Woman comic to see what happens next because it crosses over.
Yeah,
right?
like with the new Star Wars Marvel, they had the Star Wars run, they had the Vader run, then they had like the Vader Down series, and you had to get them all to know what was going on.
Vader down.
Those comics confuse me though, because
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I
Those
started hearing a
comics,
song.
because like some of those Vader comics take place like during the OT, and then there's other Vader comics that take place like pre-ABY. So like, and some of them are just called Vader. So I just get confused. I don't know.
There's 3 runs now. Yeah. There's the original one that was between A New Hope and Empire. Then they went back, and it started off right after Revenge of the Sith, and now they're telling between Empire and Jedi.
Yeah.
And they're all called Vader or something.
So there's like 3 Vader #1s, and I'm like, wait, so where do I start with Vader? Which Vader #2 do I need to pick up to continue whichever one I have? Like they should have made it like Vader Order 66, like they should have named them so we knew like the time periods.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, I'm sidetracking. I digress.
You gotta pay too much attention to everything to make sense of timelines in Star Wars. If it wasn't like that, it wouldn't be Star Wars.
Well, that's the thing. Like they're bringing in all the mainstream audience and the fans with Disney Plus, and like, do you think it can get too confusing for fans who haven't seen every episode of Rebels and the Clone Wars and read the comics? I appreciate the Easter eggs for us, like the blue butterflies that were in the Vader comic when he's meditating. Trust me, I appreciate that stuff so much. But at the same time, if I'm watching if I'm watching Ahsoka season 2, episode 10, and like Thrawn comes up and mentions the Yuuzhan Vong's blood for like some genetic testing, like, is my wife and my mom gonna understand what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? Like, look at that coffee.
Yeah, making coffee.
I think that as long as, so even, okay, like, you met my buddy Casey, his wife out there in California, his wife, like, she likes Star Wars. Okay. She never really watched it or was into it at all until she got with him. She likes The Mandalorian. She's into The Mandalorian. She loved Ahsoka.
Everybody does.
She loved Ahsoka, right? But she was asking, and like with Bo-Katan, she's like, oh, Bo-Katan, that character's cool. And she's like, well, what are they talking about? What's this Darksaber? What are they talking about with this? What's Ahsoka talking about with Thrawn? And who's this Ezra guy you're talking about? He's like, oh, it's in the Clone Wars Rebels.
It's a lot.
And she's like, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch that. But like, she's not lost either. Like, she's interested. And I don't think they're introducing anything necessarily that they're not going to play out.
Right. That's true. That's a good point.
Like,
They probably have plenty already planned.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, especially they've had, these two series that are going to be happening at the same time in their back pocket. So I'm wondering if we're going to get more cohesion like that, because we're getting like Andor and Lando. Could those have some crossover?
Right.
I mean, they're around the right time period. If we go with the Donald Glover Lando, which I'm assuming they're going to, I don't think Billy D. Williams is coming out of like pseudo retirement for an entire series.
I've thought about this a lot. You know what I think would be awesome? If you have
Yep.
I think I know what you're going to say. He
Me
froze.
Too. Oh, he
let's
did.
let's
I think
conjecture as to what he's going to say. Oh, here he is.
Like,
say again, Mike.
We
lost you.
Young Indy.
What? Oh,
we lost you right when you were going to tell us what your theory was.
Oh, am I back?
Yes.
You're back.
What I'm saying is it'd be cool to have old Lando sit around and tell stories, and then it flashes back.
I was thinking that too.
So it's Billy D. Williams, like, I'll tell you about the Battle of Tanab, and then it flashes back to Donald Glover as Lando with L3 and the Falcon. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
exactly. You could just have Billy D. Williams come in for a week and film his entire series.
Yeah, like
all his bumpers.
And then like something crazy happens in the show and it stops, and it's like The Princess Bride, where like in The Princess Bride it goes back to the bedroom scene.
When I was your age, television was called books, and this is a special book. It was the book my father used to read to me when I was sick, and I used to read it to your father. And today I'm going to read it to you.
Where he's reading it, and then maybe there's like a side plot, like in the Falcon with Billy D. Williams in the future, and then you know what I mean? Like you could go back and forth.
We should
have him finding his daughter.
We should have Billy D. Williams telling the story to Fred Savage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there any sports in it?
Are you kidding? Fencing, fighting, torture, revenge, giants, monsters, chases, escapes, true love, miracles.
Doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, like Bill and I
Now
always
Fred
say,
Savage, 40-year-old Fred Savage in bed in his pajamas. I'd love
That's
it.
what we need. I mean, I'm sure he'd jump at it, man. Just have him curled up on the Falcon, Fred Savage, just.
Well, if we have him on the Falcon as old Lando, he needs to make some reference to L3 for sure.
Yeah.
It would be cool to see like his relationship with L3 and the Falcon, and like post Rise of Skywalker, like during these little scenes between the main plot with Donald Glover going back to the past. Am I going too far out there? I think that would be really cool.
I think it would be awesome, and we could, because we know that he's going to help people find their family or whatever, and it's heavily implied that Jaina is actually his daughter. That's actually what it was supposed to be in the script originally.
Yeah.
Yeah, they pulled back on that, so they could play that out. Like maybe eventually they find out that, they could be like maybe eventually they form a connection. Like he's telling her these stories, and they find out she is, or it would be even better. They find out, they get this connection. They almost have this feeling like they're father and daughter. They find out she is not his daughter, but they've already got a father-daughter relationship, and so it's like about found family again.
It's like like an adoption in a way. Yeah. Yep. That'd be interesting.
I tell you, that would make a lot of people happy by fixing the awkward ending of Rise of
Yeah.
Skywalker.
Yeah, I wasn't
so he's
sure
not
if,
just
if,
creeping.
if I wasn't sure if he was trying to imply that he might be her dad or he wants to be her daddy, if you know what I'm
Right,
saying.
exactly. You truly belong with me among the
Yes.
clouds.
Well, let's go find out where you're from. I know where
Is
you're
it?
going.
Oh my god. So I'm gonna move forward. So the end of Solo, we get Crimson Dawn open ended. We get Maul. We know eventually what happens to Maul ultimately in his demise, but we don't know what do we got, a 15-year gap there, 15-year gap. Crimson Dawn, Emilia Clarke's character. Do you think we get some of that in Lando, and then maybe even into Andor?
I think they would be smart to do that. I mean, they're doing like a culmination thing for Mando, Ahsoka, Rangers. Why not? I mean, we know that they signed on for a few films, like, and that's just Hollywood, right? You always sign your actors on.
Well, that's just Star Wars too.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I think everybody has said that they'd be willing to come back if they had like the right story, and I think this is a better venue for them, like a medium for them to tell stories like that in.
I think
So you
people
don't
need
need,
to watch Solo, man. So many people I don't think watched it because they thought it was going to be awful. It's a
even
good
in my
movie.
friend group, everybody was like, like. So a lot of people that I know didn't even know Solo was coming out, and then afterwards they're like, "Oh, I just heard bad stuff about it."
Or
And
they
then-
thought it was going to be the sequel to The Force Awakens.
Yep. But a lot of them have now watched and they're like, "Oh yeah, I actually really like that."
Dude, I think that movie's awesome. Like, I think he did a great job. Not, someone else playing the role. I just think that movie is so underrated. And just like you said, like, oh, I didn't even know it was coming out, and then I heard it sucked. Like, no, that was nothing to do with it.
I still want to see the original director's cut. I want to see what they did. Really bad.
Oof. I don't know. All I'll say
I don't
is
care if
that
it's awful. I really want to see it. I
was
actually,
hearing-
one of my old producing partners is actually good friends with the directors, and he said it was going to be really funny. Which I'm not sure if that would have been the best route to take, but I want to see it.
I kept hearing Ace Ventura in space.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It said it was going to be very funny, so that about fits the bill.
I just can't get the image of Alden Ehrenreich's Han Solo crawling out of like a robotic bantha or something.
Or
You know?
or Chewbacca and Han Solo talking to each other with their butt cheeks.
That shower scene would have been different.
Oh, that would have been a
shower
whole
scene
different
would have been
scene.
very different.
Okay, now you guys want to see it.
oh my god.
Hey,
You know you do. At
Right.
least the shower cut.
I'll watch anything twice.
Yeah.
At least what was I gonna say? Donald Glover is my favorite part of that movie. So
He's
if
great.
he's in Lando, like, it's only gonna be that much better than
You
I
think
think.
Lando will be talking out of his cheeks?
I don't know. Hey, would it be cool if we see how he like finds Lobot and shit, and like
Yeah.
Lobot becomes like his new
That
upgrade?
would be cool. And Lobot being turned into Lobot, like maybe he was gonna die, but like Lando did something to make sure he stayed alive by turning him into Lobot the robot.
Yeah, because there is some Marvel comic stuff with that, but it's like later on. I think it's closer to like ABY stuff. So if it's like pre original trilogy stuff, I think you could do all kinds of stuff with that. Lobot and
All right,
Stuff
what
that
have we
happens.
covered so far? We covered Rangers, we covered Bad Batch, Ahsoka, a little bit of Andor, a little bit of Lando. Let's talk about Andor.
All right. Real quick, can I say my
Yes, please do.
my two casting for Lobot, young Lobot, either since they're casting fans now, I've already thrown out Steele should be Dash Rendar. Yep, we got to get it's got to be either Mikey
You already have a shaved head. You could do it. Nobody
or
else
James
could do that.
McAvoy, and I think you guys are kind of on par. You and James McAvoy.
Oh my God! Look, he's Lobot.
Oh, that's
already.
perfect. That's
Turn this
perfect.
into Lucasfilm immediately.
Yep. There we go. There you go. You got all your lines memorized right there.
that's it.
I'm going to play a big fat robot with a mustache.
No, you're gonna play the guy who holds the ice cream maker and runs around. What's
There
his
you
name?
go.
What's his name again?
Wilro Hood.
Will
Rohood.
You see, he knows his stuff.
I'm here for the
I'm not
Kane
as
reference.
automatic.
Oh, Josh is great. Josh is a fucking encyclopedia with 2 kids. I don't know how he does it. Crazy.
Yeah. You have 2 kids, Josh? How old are your kids?
4 and 1.5.
Oh my God, they're brand new. Of course you're awake.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Josh is like the best friend you
Time.
wanted when you were 6, who like knew every character's name. Right. It's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't have enough of them. I had my brothers, and that's about it when I was a
Well,
kid.
Obviously, that's why I have to talk to you fools across the country, because I have nobody else to talk to this shit about.
That's
over
right.
here. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. Literally, everybody thinks I'm crazy. They're like, oh, you can't go to Pappas's house. He's just going to talk about Star Wars.
Well, yeah, that's about all there is to talk about in some of these circles.
Well, you
of
want to go to
idiots.
Pappas's house.
That's
I'm
why.
not. I'm not. Yeah.
I threaten to go to his house every week.
Anyway, I don't want to talk about what's in the news, so it's like that's what I'm gonna fucking talk about is Star Wars. Fuck it.
Isn't that the news, right? That's why we're here. We'll
It
bring you
is
the good news.
It
This is
might
the
not
good
be
news.
political news, but it is news.
Right?
All right, you want to talk about Andor?
Yeah. Let Josh throw in his. 2
Oh, he didn't
cents
throw in his
there.
thing yet. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh no, that was yeah. So for Andor, man, what did I? Oh, I wrote down. Production started 2 weeks ago. It's supposed to come out in 2022. We know that they got 12 scripts they dropped. That every single one of them they're treating like a movie. So some of the things that I thought we could see in Andor, we know Ahsoka's running around doing her. What's the name she went by in Rebels?
Fulcrum.
Fulcrum. She's
Yeah.
doing her Fulcrum thing. She's involved with that. We could see Saw. We could see Enfys Nest.
Seesaw.
So we could get a continuation of Enfys Nest, a Seesaw, and Crimson Dawn, Kira, Lando, Maul, Solo. They could all be involved. And also, we know that Diego Luna really wants to know what Jabba the Hutt feels like. So
Oh man, we
Does
need
that-
some Jabba, man. We do need some Jabba.
He's in the right. Well, why haven't we had Jabba yet? You'd think we'd have Jabba or a Hutt of some sort in some canon by now, besides animation.
Well, we had him in Clone Wars, right?
That's animation, yeah.
yeah, beside anime, I think they're afraid of him because of they never got Jabba right after Return of the Jedi. They just need to do.
They
I
could
think
get
it
him
would be
right now.
perfect.
Just make another puppet for Christ's sake.
Yep.
Just make it
Make
as
a
a
puppet.
miniature version and whatever. It'd be easy.
Especially since Diego Luna has said like he wants to know what Jabba feels like. Like that's his golden goose in life. Him
That's
just like
the
curled
reason
up.
he took the job.
Diego Luna in the golden bikini.
He thought he was going to
pulled up
become
close
Slave
to
Luna.
Jabba.
I would
Slave
love
Luna,
the
that's
the origin story of Space Monkey Salacious Crumb,
it.
like
Ooh,
Salacious Crumb journey. You know how
Yep.
he gets to the palace and becomes Jabba's bitch.
there you go.
I bet you the entire origin is like Jabba shows up at Space Petco and picks him up. Hey, look at
There's-
that. A space monkey. I'm going to get it.
There actually is a backstory for him in the from a certain point of view,
Okay, right. The
in
book.
which there's literally a flea-like creature that talks to him, that's like on him the entire time.
Interesting.
Is
He's
that
got his
the
own
brains?
little salacious crumb.
That's the brains of the operation.
Is
Little
the flea?
That's funny. It reminds me of what's
how's he
his face,
go?
the boss from SpongeBob.
Yeah, right. It's so Salacious Crumb goes. Yeah,
That's
so
pretty good.
That's all he has to say.
That's pretty good. That's good too.
All right, all my
I-
family's awake. I can do it now.
I've just got a Palpatine. That's it. That was good
Well,
though.
we got Salacious Crumb. If they need to cast new Salacious Crumb, they got us to deal with. I'll be the
Yeah.
blue one from Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be the one in Mandalorian.
Oh God, I wouldn't. He looks delicious though. I need him.
I made that. Mike, did I send you,
You
that
made
for
that?
my friend Saga Day? I made the Salacious Crumb out of sausages, and I cooked him for my buddies and I. We get together and watch all the Star Wars films every year.
Wow, that's pretty
So
cool.
I made that as a main dish last year.
God, you must have some cool nerd friends.
Oh yeah, we got a couple. We're spread out across the country now in Ohio, Oklahoma,
I'm from
Utah, and
Pennsylvania,
California
so-
now.
so
There
I
you go.
Who had all the
Understand you're
toys? Who had the Darth Vader action figure box where
Oh,
you
that was
open
my-
it?
That was my cousin actually. That was
We
my
had
cousin.
two of those and a C-3PO when I was a kid.
Oh, the 3PO.
Yeah.
There was always one friend. Everyone had one friend that had like everything.
Yep.
Like, you know,
Yep.
all the.
We had just about everything. Then my town got wrecked by a tornado and we lost pretty much everything. So Yeah, it's
Jesus.
upsetting. I'm rebuying
Yeah.
stuff now.
That's me. Like, I wanted to be the kid with everything, and now as an adult, I'm just buying myself everything, which I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah. No, I think
It's
we
bad.
all are doing that right now.
It's bad,
Yeah.
but it feels good.
It feels great.
All right,
My
want to
wife
move on to
hates
the next one? Andor, we
Yeah.
just talked about. Lando, we basically talked about. Visions. I know nothing about Visions. What is Visions?
No idea. I have no idea.
So
Josh.
it's 10 short films
Oh.
in anime style. So are you guys
I'm
familiar
okay
with
with that?
Are you guys familiar with the Animatrix?
Yes,
Yeah, I love
Think
Animatrix.
Animatrix in Star Wars. That's what
I'm
I'm
okay
getting.
with that. That's cool for animation. My kids
they're
are
doing
way
the
into
same-
anime.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing with Marvel, right? Like some spin-off kind of stuff. And so I think that's what they're going to be doing with Visions.
It's a different
Interesting.
animation style. Every short film will have a different animation style.
Is it going to be similar to the more female centric animation series that they did recently?
The Forces of Destiny. I don't know
Yeah.
for sure. It's going to be straight up anime. So like they
Friend
didn't
of
have
mine wrote
action-
most of those.
Yeah, so I'm thinking it's going to be really like real anime style, like classic anime, like what like Animatrix was.
That's
So,
fine
like,
with me. I'm
did
okay
you
with that with
guys-
Star Wars.
Did you guys see that fan-made anime of the X-Wings versus the TIE Fighters? Like straight
That's
out
the
of
thing
Gundam?
that's stuck in my head. I wonder if that gave
Yep.
him the idea.
Yep.
Boop. We're gonna play a little of that. A little bit.
Behind you, shake him off!
Yeah, that
Well,
would
that was
be-
neat.
That
That
is
was-
awesome.
That was awesome. The detail in those anime when you go into a cockpit of like a fighter or like it's just so awesome.
And
Yeah.
it's like the cross sections of the TIE fighter, you know, it like drops down, shows like the rockets loading and stuff.
I love that. It's so like
Comic
Voltron, Macross, like old school anime. It's so awesome.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for
Okay,
it.
sounds
So
good to me. Rogue Squadron. That's going to be a movie. I thought it was. I thought when my wife told me about it, I thought it was actually about. I thought it was the video game Squadrons.
yeah,
Well,
that's
that's-
the same thing my friends are saying.
Well, Rogue Squadron was the book series with Wedge, right? Back in the day, and Luke,
Yep.
Wedge and Luke. So how do you do it without Wedge and Luke? You got to do it with Wedge and Luke, right?
So now canonically, Rogue
Give
Squadron
me Wedge and
was
Luke in anime form and as a television show. I'd watch that.
right.
Yeah.
This is live action coming out in 2023. So Taika Waititi, right? When they announced him and he got a shout out, he was supposed to be the next director, but now they've pushed him back again. It said, "Oh yeah, he's working on his stuff. It's going to be great. It's going to be a brand new take on Star Wars." They also showed a clip with Taika Waititi of the Mortis like pyramid diamond thing.
Yep.
Someone
Yeah,
going to be dealing with some crazy Mortis stuff.
I'm
But
on board
I-
with that. Give me some more Mortis. Love it.
I digress from that, but with Patty Jenkins, they said it's a boundary-pushing, high-speed future era of the galaxy. So is this going to be like the next Rogue Squadron, like after the Rise of Skywalker, possibly?
Interesting.
Or are we going to get a de-aged, Dennis Lawson? Get him in there, de-age him.
You couldn't even get him to freaking do. It was like pulling teeth getting him to
Oh,
do Rise
man.
of Skywalker.
Maybe
Nice
they
shot,
had to,
Lando.
Nice flying, Lando.
Oh, that was it.
maybe they had to give him his own little like. Maybe he'll be the Columbo from Princess Bride in Rogue Squadron. Maybe he'll be just like the leader of Carmen Sandiego. They come back and get their orders from him. You know. Chief.
I mean, at this point, just recast Wedge. Whatever. I don't
yeah.
care. It
Recast
doesn't
him
matter.
and Luke. I don't mind. Just give me more Wedge and Luke. I'm down.
Sebastian standing up. You gotta have Poe in there, no? If you're gonna do a future post Rise of Skywalker, you gotta have Poe Dameron in there, because Poe Dameron is a general, and he's he's probably the best pilot that they've got. I don't even know if it's called the New Republic anymore after Rise of Skywalker.
That's going to be
The
called the
Resistance.
Newer Republic, I believe. The newest
The newer-
Republic.
The newest resistical republic.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Resist the newest republic. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
But like, I'm excited by this because Patty Jenkins' dad was a fighter pilot in that teaser. She seems like she's got a grasp on the genre a little bit. Wonder Woman was cool. I'm not saying it was my favorite movie, but it was cool. She could
I
direct.
need to watch that movie again. I've seen bits and pieces of it. I haven't seen the whole thing. I really should sit down and watch. I always mean
it's
to.
Good.
Yeah, it's good. It's hard for me to comment on this one because we know so little about it, honestly. But the books were cool, right?
Yeah. It's
All
going
right.
to be, I think it's going to be, they're trying to capitalize on the success of Rogue One. So Rogue.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
a
it's
Rogue
kind of
One
weird they're using Rogue again.
I think
It's
that
so
they're trying.
trying to capitalize on Rogue One, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, how about The Acolyte? That one sounds very interesting to me. Do I know nothing about it other than it's set at the end of the High Republic, right? 1 second. Eddie,
Yes.
whisper, please. Thank
But-
you.
Is this going to be animation? I feel like this is going to be animation. I don't.
It's live action from everything.
Wow.
It's the Leslie. This is the Leslie Headland series we've been hearing about. So she's the one who did like Russian Doll and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so we know it's supposed to be female centric, kind of. In the past, they'd said very martial arts heavy. Then Kathleen just described it as a mystery thriller, with shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers.
Oh, yeah,
and
The
final
Acolyte.
goals
It's got to be
of
shadowy.
Yep.
Acolyte
Yeah.
sounds creepy.
So all these rumors I'm hearing this morning when I checked my
Acolyte
Twitter
makes
and
me
shit.
think Sith.
So wait, I don't know if you heard this yet because you just woke up when we got you, but everyone's saying this is a Darth Plagueis origin thing.
Acolyte
this
of
is-
Darth Plagueis. That makes sense.
Yep, that's what I was talking about. Me and my buddies podcasted last night, and that's what we were talking about. Was this is set a couple hundred years beforehand? We don't know how old Darth Plagueis, even in canon before, or like in Legends, they never said how old Darth Plagueis was, but we know that he was like supernaturally extending his life and such.
Yeah, just like I think Palpatine was trying to do with cloning and whatnot.
Yeah,
That's my guess.
And I think that a part of Snoke's DNA is from Palpatine's old master, by the way. He may not be a
Plagueis.
clone, but some of Snoke is probably made up of this guy's DNA that we're talking about.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
So basically,
guys-
we got this crew of like ragtag, like High Republic Jedi girls, and they're kind of cool and everything's chill. And then there's like in the back, in the insidious background, is the dark side's lurking, and maybe one of the Jedi gets corrupted, and that's Plagueis.
There
Or
you go.
something like that.
Maybe have you guys read Darth Plagueis, the novel?
I have read the audiobook, so I didn't read it. No, I'm dyslexic, so I don't do a lot
Oh,
of
that's
reading.
what
The audiobooks
That's what I
love.
mean. That's what I mean when I say I read these things.
Oh yeah, you
I
read
listen
them
to
on the
them.
way to work too.
I work for myself, like doing lawn. I have my own lawn care business,
Oh,
so I'm
cool,
just
dude. Good for you.
this is what I do. I just listen to Star Wars podcasts and audiobooks.
You're hiring me.
Yeah.
I want to work for you. That sounds awesome. That sounds like a great job. Just like I was telling Pappas yesterday, I also really want to go to jail and work in that TIE fighter graveyard from yesterday's episode of Mando.
There you go.
That sounds like a
guys-
great job.
No. What he wants to do, what he really wants to do, is he wants to go get captured, go to the TIE fighter graveyard, and climb up to the crane droid thing, and he wants to
Yes.
operate the crane and pick up dead TIE fighters.
Yes, that sounds great. That sounds
Did
like a
you
great
guys-
job. Can you just start doing that instead of lawn care?
There we go. We can do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. Let's just change your business model slightly.
Did you
We'll
guys
make a
catch
show
what
about it?
I'm pretty sure was
The show's going to be called Rogue Garden.
I'm pretty sure it was the Wolfman from the Cantina in A New Hope was the species that they walk by when Bill Burr is leaving. A Shista variant or whatever they were.
One of those
very
I saw.
cool.
I saw a picture. One of those faces was one of the faces that showed up in Cara Dune's registry of criminals that she brought up in that thing.
There you
one,
go.
One of those faces. And yes, I believe it was one of the Wolfman type dudes. Boop. Okay, now everybody
There we
saw it.
go. Now they
Okay,
saw the
last
Wolfman.
show. Droid story. A droid story. That's interesting.
They've already done this twice. They did this with the Droids cartoon in the 80s, and then Dark Horse did a comic series in the 90s. Both of them were not well received. I just don't think it should focus on Anthony Daniels and C-3PO, and if it doesn't,
I don't think it will.
So she said that Kathleen said it's a Star Wars adventure,
Sort of like this show.
I think it might be like a interactive kind of thing. Like Netflix has like that interactive stuff. I got a very kiddie vibe even from the music. And
Interesting. I'd be okay with that.
She said it's going to be a new droid hero that are, I think basically you're going to be getting shown the ropes by R2 and C-3PO.
Interesting. It's a choose your own adventure type of thing. My kids are into those.
I mean, let's look at the episode of Clone Wars with Asker. What's his name? The little dude, Asker Bebob.
Man.
So there's this episode where this little tiny dude, he takes some droids and they get lost on some like dune planet, and like R2 like saves the day and gets them out of there and stuff. But like I really enjoyed that episode because it was so different, and it really felt like they were lost in space, like quote unquote, on.
Right.
So like if they do stuff with the droids, I mean, look, I love that. Dio, I love BB-8. I think the new droid stuff is really, really cool.
L3 Droid Rebellion was pretty cool.
L3 Droid Rebellion. K2SO is my favorite character from Rogue One, honestly. Yeah. So, like, this could wind up being one of my favorite shows, or it could wind up being total trash. This could wind up going, for myself, one or the other way.
Or it might be, the little golden books of TV shows, for kids. Yep. I think this will work out well for kids.
Maybe we'll get Colonel Meebra Gascon. Maybe he'll make his appearance. Bring him back. Steven Stanton, right? Bring him back.
Dude, Meebra Gascon in live action, like that small crawling in and out of the droids.
Oh,
like,
this is going to be a live action show? I was picturing animation.
I think
like
it's animated.
TV
I think
show.
It's animated.
Yeah. I mean, it would be easiest to make it animated if you're going to do robots.
Yeah. Then you don't got to suit Anthony Daniels up.
So we just went through all of the episodes, all the new shows, guys. Okay, we'll keep going. All but one. What one did we miss?
We missed the biggest one, guys.
Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah.
Obi-Wan.
I almost thought that was almost left unsaid. The only thing we learned about that is that Anakin's going to be back in, which will be super cool.
A lot of people are upset about this, man.
Are they? I'm okay with it. People who don't like Hayden Christensen.
No, it's retconning. It's retconning fucking Star Wars, the heart of Star Wars, man.
Is it retconning it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think are either of you guys actual
I see what
investors?
You're saying.
Are either of you guys actual investors that were able to watch like the actual clips that they've shown from some of this?
Hold on, I got fucked because I own one share on the Robinhood app and I didn't get invited.
See, you should fight for that. But they did show.
We should find clips of this bootleg. I'm sure we can find them.
I've been looking, man. I haven't been able to find clips of it, but I know what was said. So they announced the return of Hayden. They had Deborah Chow and Ewan McGregor on there talking, and they said that basically McGregor said the best part about this is coming back together with Hayden. They confirmed a couple things throughout what they were saying. They confirmed he will be leaving Tatooine, and he's going to be going on an adventure across the galaxy.
They have to.
Listen, if he leaves, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Nope, go for it. Go.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, if he leaves Tatooine for a couple months out of 18 years or 15 years, whatever the fuck, that's fine. It's still like he spent the majority of his secluded days as a hermit in the sand dunes, in the Dune Sea. But fine, he can leave. Let's say Fulcrum hit him up and she's like, I really need you right now, Master Kenobi. Like, please.
Yep.
He goes and he fucks shit up and then he comes back. That's fine. That's fine with me. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah, he said we start on Tatooine and we go on a rollicking adventure. And as he was saying that, they showed a bunch of concept art for a watery planet.
Nice. That'd be a nice vacation.
Yeah, him shielding a bunch of children. And then also we get concept art of Vader sitting on a throne talking to a hologram.
Mustafar.
On Moose. So I'm thinking we are going to get a little more of Vader's castle. And it said that they did also confirm that there's going to be, quote, the rematch of the century between Obi-Wan and Vader.
I definitely want to see that. I don't know if that helps
That's
them
the
not seeing
retcon
each other.
thing.
Well, I mean, when Vader meets with him, he does say, last we met, I was the whatever. It doesn't mean that the last time they met was on
Exactly.
Mustafar. It could be any time.
They're vague. Mikey's rolling his eyes.
Mikey does not like it.
That's what I've been saying since they announced that. I was like, man, okay. So all he says is, "I haven't felt this presence since." Trails off, and he also later says Obi-Wan once thought as you did that he could be turned back. So that kind of plays into that. Like the last time we saw Obi-Wan, he was not thinking like Luke was that he could be turned back. He was thinking, "I'm going to go chop him into bits."
Well, here's my question. He hasn't felt this presence. Is he talking about Obi-Wan, or is he talking about the presence of his unborn child?
Maybe a little bit of both.
But he would have felt that when Leia showed up too.
Yeah, I think mostly it's
so that
Obi-Wan.
Can't be it. It has to be Obi-Wan.
It has to be Obi-Wan because, again, back to other media, in the Marvel comics, the new ones that are canon, Boba Fett actually tells Vader that he's got kids.
He drops the bomb.
Like Boba Fett drops the bomb in the comics, Bill, which is crazy to me because if Luke Skywalker comes into Mandalorian and you got Boba Fett there, then it comes full circle again. Because Josh, help me out. I got to get my comics.
Vader. So Vader gets demoted because of his failure at the Death Star. So he becomes hell bent on finding whoever this rebel was that made this. The Force is strong with this one. So who is this guy? So he actually enlists Boba Fett to track down this rebel. That made this amazing shot. Boba Fett comes back after having a run-in and a battle with Luke, and he says, well, all I found out is he's from Tatooine and his name is Skywalker.
Wow.
Right.
Okay, so he lets him know
Vader
he has
starts
a
putting
kid.
Yeah, and Vader already had a run-in with Skywalker at this point in the comics, and he recognized his old lightsaber.
Though I bet it's not that much of a shock that he's got kids. I mean, his wife was pregnant, and he knew that.
Well, at that point, he just knows that Palpatine's been lying to him this whole time. And that's when he recruits Dr. Aphra to try and help him find, get more clues to this. He starts building his own army. And then that's when Dr. Aphra helps him get all this stuff. Aphra eventually betrays him. But it was
Dr. Aphra, is that the cloning guy? No, it's not. Is it?
It's
the
this
girl. Is comic book stuff. Comic
okay.
book stuff.
Yeah. But that's how he gets his back in the Emperor's good graces and Empire, was because he was actually going behind the Emperor's back and building an army. And the Emperor's like, oh, that's very Sith-like. Yeah. Good job.
So crazy, man.
But the whole time he's like, Sidious has been lying to me, man, and I ain't about it.
Well, that's the whole test. He wants him to lie back and then catch each other and be like, you did good. You're good, you.
You little rascal.
Yeah.
You did good, kid.
Did you see Star Wars Theories fan film with Vader Origins?
Love it.
Really
I have
good.
not seen it. I need to see it.
You're gonna watch it right after this. I'm gonna send it to you. It's really good. Like, I think my Palpatine, if I was in the makeup, my Palpatine would have been better than whoever that actor was.
You should be
like,
Palpatine. I think you have the best Palpatine in the business. I saw you at In and Out.
I mean, Sam Witwer would disagree, and so would Ian McDiarmid. But other than those two,
I disagree with both those idiots.
Ian Abercrombie. May you rest in peace.
May you rest in peace. I'm excited for this fucking show. Do you think we could get like some Han Solo crossover with Obi-Wan or no?
Yes. I think we can get some Andor, all of that. I think there's potential. They're going more Marvel than they've ever gone before.
I think that's the plan.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing other stuff.
Does he go to Dagobah and like bring Yoda like frog yogurt and stuff?
Frog yogurt? I think Yoda makes his own with probiotics and everything, man.
Now, you know what they have to do with Yoda now? Since I've seen Baby Yoda and Mandalorian, we know exactly why Yoda went to Dagobah. Because it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. You know that iguana that Luke goes by? I want to see Yoda just unhinge.
Yoda's retiring, man. He's not in seclusion. This is great.
Swallow the iguana whole.
Why isn't Yoda gigantic and fat in Jedi and Empire? That'd been nice.
That's what he says. How you get so big eating food of this kind? And then he should just swallow an iguana.
maybe he doesn't even digest them. Maybe they just we've never seen Baby Yoda take a dump, so maybe that all comes out whole and still living.
Just a skeleton. Yeah. Maybe he's like the Sarlacc, and he just slowly digests frogs over 900
I still
years.
expected in Mandalorian, I expected like at the end of the frog lady a couple episodes there, I expected all the eggs to be killed by jumping to hyperspace, and like at the end, Baby Yoda yaks up a bunch of the eggs into the thing, and they still have
and
kids.
they're safe.
That's what I thought, that Baby Yoda was trying to keep them safe.
That would have been
Maybe
perfect.
his stomach would keep them safe from jumping to
a Baby Yoda force field.
Yeah. Or maybe like he's got a world between world portal in his stomach, and he like sends them to someplace safe.
The one thing I am interested in the lack of announcement here for Star Wars is Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Well, that's why and remember, the Razor Crest is destroyed. This is what everyone's talking about.
We're theorizing about that a little bit.
They're setting up the perfect plot device to give Mando a new ship here.
Which I don't want to kill off Boba Fett to give him a cool ship. I mean, I'm cool with him getting a cool ship.
How do you give him his armor back? He fucking refurbishes it, he spray paints it, and then you kill him. You can't.
I guess maybe just to make the fans happy, who have been saying for years that it's that he survived the Sarlacc and blah blah blah. Like, all right, let's let him survive the Sarlacc just long enough to give him all his good Mando stuff. To pass on the torch to the next Mandalorian bounty hunter, you know?
Well, why would you do that when you can I'm sorry, Josh, I'll just say this, but you can have Boba team up with Bo-Katan and fucking rebuild Mandalore would be the coolest ending to his life.
So I think without a Boba Fett series they're either going to utilize him a lot more than we thought, so he's going to stick around and be more part of the crew in the Mandalorian, and do like you're saying, Mikey, like become in the old Legends he became Mandalore. In the old expanded universe, he became Mandalore, the leader of the Mandalorians. Or they're going to kill him off, which is what like a couple of my buddies think, that they brought him essentially just to make Din the heir apparent to Boba Fett. He's going to get all his stuff.
Oh yeah,
but I think
maybe he'll even paint himself to look like Boba Fett. Who knows? It'll be like the
that paint job is sick, man. I love that.
It does look good. It almost bothers me that he looks so good because it's just not what I'm used to for the last 40 years of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
You know?
Won't last long, I don't think. Because I think, Mikey, did you tell Bill my theory for the finale?
No,
probably not.
Go ahead.
So I think that now that they can track Moff Gideon, they're going to track him to Kamino. We've got Kamino references and hints with the tunics since the first episode. They're taking him to the lab, so I think they go to Kamino, and either they'll be able to track him directly there, or it won't show up on the star charts. Either way, Boba Fett knows where it's at. He can lead them there, and he grew up there, so he can sneak them in.
Yep, he knows where all the thermal exhaust ports are.
Yep.
That's what she said.
Yeah, baby.
Hey.
Oh. Yeah, that's what she said. But all right, guys, I think we hit up all the episodes, right? All the shows, and I'm glad that we screwed up and left Kenobi till the end, because that's the one I'm most excited about.
I feel like I got to double check this list though, because there's so much shit. Okay. Yeah, no, we hit everything.
I think we hit everything. I was trying to check them off as we went. He
was trying to jack them off while we went.
Hey!
But all right, guys. We'll talk again soon. Thank you for watching, scumbags. You want to say hi to our scumbags real quick?
It's okay, Josh. You can say it here. It's allowed.
What? Howdy, scumbags?
Yeah, there you go. See, he did it right. He did it perfect.
Hey, scumbags.
All right, guys.
I lost
talk
you
to you guys soon,
second.
and we'll catch you again in the next couple days.
Later.
Love you.
Bye. Josh, thanks, man. Really.